Today in this video, I will explain you how to solve the quadratic equation. This video is going to be very interesting because I will find the roots of this equation by two very different methods. Let us adopt our traditional method of factorization. 5 4s are 20. As the last term is positive, we have to obtain the middle term by addition. So the factors of 20 are 10 times 2. The addition of 10 and 2 is 12. And if the last term is positive, apply the sign of middle term to both the factors. So I should apply positive sign to these two factors. And I should apply x over here. See, this rule will be very new for you. If you want to understand this particular rule, whatever I have used now, for that purpose, you have to refer my previous two videos. I will link those two videos over here. So 5x squared plus 10x plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. Form the pairs and try to take something common. 5 times 2 is 10. So over here, 5x is common. There will remain x in the bracket plus 5 2s are 10. X has come out plus 2 2s are 4. So 2 is common. So there remains x plus 2 2s are 4 is equal to 0. Now from this big bracket, I can take this x plus 2 common. So x plus 2, there remains 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. So now this first bracket is equal to 0, or the second bracket is equal to 0. This plus 2 will become minus 2. I have just rearranged it. Over here, by rearrangement, I will get 5x. As this plus 2 is moving on the right hand side, it becomes minus 2. So x is equal to minus 2 upon this 5 will come in the denominator over here. Therefore, the roots of given equation are minus 2 and minus 2 by 5. This is our traditional method, what we were doing in grade 10. But today I'm going to show you one of the new method that is called formula method to find the roots of the equation. For that purpose, I will compare this given quadratic equation with the standard form of quadratic equation. This is given equation, that is 5x squared plus 12x plus 4 is equal to 0. Let us compare this given equation with the standard form of quadratic equation. By comparison, you will get a is equal to 5, b is equal to 12, and c is equal to 4. Okay. Now, I am going to give you a formula that will easily solve this quadratic equation. You will directly get the solution. No need of this type of factorization. And the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or plus root d upon 2a And the second solution is x is equal to minus b. Instead of this plus sign, I should write negative sign over here. Instead of this plus, I will write minus. And what is d over here? Actually, it is called discriminant. And the value of this d can be calculated by d is equal to b squared minus 4ac, that you have to remember. It will not be given into the formula sheet. B squared, b is 12, 12 squared minus 4, a is 5, c is 4. So ultimately I am getting d is equal to 12 squared. That means 12 into 12, you will get 144 minus 5 4s are 20, 20 4s are 80, so that is minus 80. So here I am getting d is equal to 144 minus 80, so that will give you 64. But I need square root of d. So square root of d is nothing but the square root of 64. And you should remember that 8 square is 64. 8 8s are 64. So the square root of 64 is 8. This is very important. I'm going to use this over here. X is equal to minus b is equal to 12 plus square root of d is 8. 2 times a. What is the a is 5. So x is equal to minus 12 and plus 8. Minus 12 plus 8 will give you minus 4. 2 times 5. You can go for the cancellation over here. 2 1s are 2. 2 2s are 4. So I am getting x is equal to minus 2 upon 1 5s are 5. Okay, so we got this root. Now the second will come from this. X is equal to minus b. B is equal to 12 minus square root of d is 8. 2 times a is 5. Minus 12 and minus 8 is minus 20 upon 2 5s are 10. Go for the cancellation. 10 1s are 10, 10 2s are 20. So you will get x is equal to minus 2. So this is the second root we obtained. Okay. So the answer is same. Roots of the given equation are minus 2 by 5 and minus 2. Okay. This formula is also useful for only factorization. If someone asks you about the factors, find the factors of this quadratic. If someone is asking like this, find the roots, so find the factors of this quadratic. Then also this method can be used. Let me show it to you. Factors of the quadratics. This we have x equal to minus 2 by 5. Just go for the cross multiplication. So you will get 5x is equal to minus 2. Bring this minus 2 on the left. It will become plus 2. And there will remain 0 on the right hand side. You got the first factor of this quadratics. Okay. Now the second factor can be obtained from this. X is equal to minus 2. Send this minus 2 on the left. That will become plus 2 is equal to 0. You got the second factor. So the answer is factors of this given quadratic are 5x plus 2, x plus 2. So sometimes this method becomes difficult for the students because to find these factors is really difficult. You need to have command on the tables and everything, but this method is very clear. You will get the roots, as well as if you want to find the factors, you can get the factors also. I will re-explain this method in my next example. Okay, we will use traditional method to solve this quadratic equation, and then I will show you the formula method. See this last term. As this last term is negative, we have to obtain the middle term by subtraction. Okay, I should obtain this 5 by subtraction. 8 3s are 24, and very apparently 8 minus 3 is 5. That's good. And our rule is, if last term is negative, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor and opposite to smaller. As I have mentioned earlier that I have discussed these rules in my previous videos of this particular chapter. Apply this x. So I have 3x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 8 is equal to 0. Prepare two pairs. Try to take something common. 3 3s are 9. So 8 will not come in the table of 3. So nothing is common over here. Only x is common. So there remains 3x plus, as I have taken this x outside, there remains 8 minus. See, this is very typical. Nothing is common. No number is common. X is not present over here. So even x is not common. If nothing is common, then you should mean that 1 is always common. 1 3s are 3x. As there is a negative sign over here, the sign inside the bracket must be changed. So this negative will become positive. 1 8s are 8. That's equal to 0. Now, from this big bracket, this 3x plus 8 is common. So take it common. 3x plus 8. So what remains in the big bracket? That is x minus 1 is equal to 0. So the first bracket is equal to 0, or the second bracket is equal to 0. By rearrangement, I can send this plus 8 on the opposite side. It becomes minus 8. This 3 will come in the denominator over here. Minus 8 remains as it is. This minus 1 will become plus 1. That's fine. So the roots of given equation are minus 8 by 3 and 1. That is the legal method. But I can solve the same equation by formula method. Take the equation, that is 3x squared plus 5x minus 8 is equal to 0. I have to compare this equation with standard form of quadratic equation, and the standard form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. By comparison, you will get a equal to 3, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to minus 8. Okay, and I should find discriminant d, and that is b squared minus 4ac. B is 5 minus 4, a is 3, and c is minus 8. Okay, 5 square, 5 5s are 25. This minus and this minus are in multiplication. So minus minus becomes plus. 4 3s are 12. 12 times 8 is 96. So addition, the sum of these two is 121. 96 plus 25 is 121. I need the square root of this d. So the square root of 121 that you have to remember. 11 11s are 121. So the square root of 121 is 11. It is always a good idea that if you can remember the squares of 1 to 20, okay, that means the square of 15 is 225. So the square root of 225 is 15. That you should remember. It will help you great. Now the formula to find the roots. X is equal to minus b root a upon 2a, and the other root is x is equal to minus b root d upon 2a. What is the difference in these two is over here it is plus, here it is minus. That's the only difference these equations have. Now very easy, plug in all these values, you will get the answer. Surely you will get the roots. Minus b is equal to 5. Square root of d is 11. 2 times a is 3. So x is equal to 11 minus 5 is 6. Upon 2 3s are 6. 6 by 6 is 1. Again over here, minus b is equal to 5. Square root of d is 11. 2 times a is 3. Minus 5 and minus 11 is minus 16 upon 2 times 3. I can go for the cancellation. 2 1s are 2. 2 8s are 16. So we have x is equal to minus 8 upon 3. So we got the same roots. Okay. This method can also be used for factorization. For factorization, x equal to 1. Send this 1 on the left hand side, so you will get x minus 1 equal to 0. So one of the factor is x minus 1. Next, this x is equal to minus 8 by 3. Go for the cross multiplication over here. So 3 times x is 3x, that is equal to minus 8. Bring this minus 8 on the left. So you have minus 8 will become plus 8 is equal to 0. So the second factor is 3x plus 8. Okay, so I can give the answer in this way. Factors of given quadratic are x minus 1 times 3x plus 8. These are the factors. Okay, so this formula can be used for both the purposes, roots as well as for the factorization. This method is very useful when you are dealing with bigger numbers. Okay, even if you have irrational numbers, even if you have irrational numbers in the equation, then also you can use this method. But this method becomes very difficult when you have some irrational numbers or big numbers. So mind it. I will show another example using this formula. This time I'm going to use the formula method directly. I will not follow the traditional method of factorization. I am going to find the roots of this equation by the formula directly. So for that purpose, I have to compare this given quadratic equation with the standard form of quadratic equation, and that is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. By comparison, what is over here? What is the coefficient of x squared? you can mean that it is 1x squared. So the coefficient of x squared is 1. So the value of A is 1. The value of B is -8. Mind it, it is not 8, it is -8. And the constant term is 12. You have to pick these numbers with their appropriate sign. That's important. The discriminant D is equal to B square minus 4AC. B is -8. 4 times A is 1, C is 12. As you are making square of this negative sign, it will become positive. 8 squared is 64. 8 8s are 64. You can mean that minus 12 2s are 24. Sorry, 12 4s are 48. 12 4s are 48. Extremely sorry for that. So by subtraction, 64 minus 48, you are going to get 16. I want to find the square root of D, that is square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. Okay. Now I should plug in all these values in the formula, and you have to remember the formula for the exam. It will not be given in the formula sheet. Okay. So the formulas are x is equal to minus b root d upon 2a, and x is equal to minus b root d upon twice a. The only difference is of sign, plus and minus. Okay. X is equal to minus, and the value of b is -8. Square root of d is 4. 2 times a is 1. This minus minus becomes plus. So I have 8 plus 4 by 2. So that is 12 upon 2. So x is equal to 6. That is one of the root. The second root is minus, and the b itself is -8. Minus square root of d is 4. 2 times a is 1. So x is equal to, this minus minus becomes plus 8 minus 4 upon 2. So 8 minus 4 is 4 upon 2. So x is 2. So the roots of the given equation are 6 and 2. These are the roots. You can use it for the factorization. For factorization, see, the factorization and the finding the roots are very different methods, even though we can use the same formula over here. X equal to 6. So I can get x minus 6 equal to 0. So the first factor is x minus 6. X is equal to 2. Bring this 2 on the left hand side, it becomes -2. So the second factor is x minus 2. So the factors are factors of given quadratic. The quadratic will not be having this 0. So this is the quadratic. The factors of this quadratic are x minus 6 and x minus 2. Okay. I have many examples. In my next example, what will happen that this d will become 0. Okay. And then everything will be very interesting. We are going to get identical roots. In my next example, I will show it. This example is going to be very interesting actually. And which type of the quadratic is, we will guess at the end. Okay. As of now, we want to find the roots of this given quadratic equation. So for that, I'm going to use the formula method. For that, I have to compare this quadratic equation with ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So by comparison, you will get a is equal to 4, b is equal to minus 12, and the constant term is 9. The discriminant delta is b squared minus 4ac, b is minus 12 squared minus 4, a is 4, c is 9, minus will become plus as it is being squared, 12 squared, 12 times 12 is 144 minus 9 fours are 36, 36 fours are 144. You can use your calculator, my dear. This minus this is 0. Oh, discriminant is 0. So the square root of d is square root of 0, and square root of 0 is 0. That's very important. Okay. Now the formula. I repeat again and for the last time that this formula will not be there into the formula set. You have to remember it. X is equal to minus b root d by 2a, and x is equal to minus b root d by 2a, and the only difference between two formulas is of plus and minus. Okay. X is equal to minus, and b itself is having negative value minus 12, plus square root of d is 0. 2 times a is 4. So x is equal to, this minus minus become plus 12. 12 plus 0 has no mean at all. Still I am writing. Okay, in denominator I have 2 times 4. So x is equal to 12 upon 2 times 4. Go for the cancellation. 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So x is equal to 3 upon 2. That is the first root of given quadratic equation. Second, x is equal to minus, and b itself has negative value, minus 12, minus square root of d is 0. 2 times a is 4. This minus minus becomes plus 12 minus 0. Minus 0 has no mean at all. 0 is subtracted from the 12, so you are going to get 12. Again cancellation, 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So x is equal to 3 by 2. Oh, we got two identical roots. So the roots of given quadratic equation are 3 by 2, 3 by 2. As the degree of the equation is 2, so we have to mention that it has two identical roots, frequent roots, repeated roots. An equation has repeated roots only when its discriminant is 0. That you should remember for your future. If the discriminant of the quadratic equation is 0, it will have repeated roots. And other characteristic is it is a perfect square polynomial. It is a perfect square polynomial. What I want to say is it is of the type of a square minus 2ab plus b squared.